we may have been significantly underestimating Khamzat Chimaev and his abilities, because with his fight against Robert Whittaker coming up, he is changing his approach to training camp and everything about this fight, and we're going to take a look at exactly what he's going to be doing. And it's extremely worrying for somebody who's Robert Whittaker is one of my favorite fighters of all time, and I really want him to win this fight, okay? I'm going to bring you to what Khamzat Chimaev is doing in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, let me bring you over to Home of Fight over here and what they had to say about Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev has significantly changed his approach to his training camp ahead of the fight against Robert Whittaker. Text translated from Vladislav Mativ channel on Telegram. The camp is taking place at Russia at 1,850 meters altitude. It's clear that Chimaev wants to work on his endurance. And this is probably the biggest thing that's important, because how many times have we broken down this fight against Khamzat Chimaev and Robert Whittaker and said, okay, well, if Robert Whittaker can get out of the first round with Khamzat Chimaev, then he's going to absolutely dummy him in a 5-round fight. So if he's training at 1,850 meters altitude, that is actually very, very helpful. And if Khamzat works on that endurance, he might be one of the most unstoppable athletes of all time. Joakim Karlsson, the head coach of Swedish Muay Thai national team, has flown in from Stockholm to join him. It seems like the goal is to bring back some members from his old Swedish team, which Khamzat performed more frequently and better. I didn't know that Khamzat Chimaev changed up what he was doing. I kind of thought that he always had an issue with the cardio. We just never saw it because he was steamrolling people in like 1 minute to 1 round. And the only time where... What's strange, though, is... he didn't really fade in the Gilbert Burns fight, but maybe that was because of the team that he's working with. I didn't know, regardless, that he did change up things with his team. Salim Nurzahanov, a distinguished coach of the USSR in Russia in freestyle wrestling, who trained, I'm not familiar with this person, the wrestling GOAT for the 2008 Olympics, also joined Khamzat's camp. That's an interesting one. Does he really need, like, more wrestling work? I think the thing that he needs to focus on more is his endurance, to be honest with you. After Khamzat moved to the UAE, his circle included many unnecessary people who dragged him into problematic situations with cryptocurrency. Alright, so we're touching on that one. I thought they were going to touch on Darren Till, because I know Khamzat Chimaev. I even think it was Khamzat that said Darren Till was a really bad influence on him, but regardless. So it looks like he's taking things more seriously, which is really nice to see. Additionally, he often had unhelpful visitors that distracted him from training. Here in I'm not familiar with this place. Priel Breeze, Khamzat's camp looks more like a professional fighter of his caliber should have. I'm confident that with this camp, Chimaev's chances are higher than if he fought Whittaker in the summer. That is extremely, extremely interesting and extremely promising. Now, of course, this is just a translation. This is just a tweet talking about Khamzat Chimaev training right now. But for me personally, I'll have to wait until I see it. If Khamzat shows up and he has like solid 3-round cardio, I don't expect him to come out here and have a perfect full 5 rounds because of how explosive he is, but he needs to improve exactly what went wrong in the Kamaru Usman fight. Like that's not good at all. I like the idea that Khamzat is taking this seriously. I didn't know, actually, to be honest with you. I didn't know, and comment down below if you guys knew about this before. I didn't know he wasn't taking training camp seriously. It could always just be an excuse for his performances. It could always be an excuse for why he hasn't been making it to the fight, but I kind of believe it. Like, he got really big, really, really quick. Maybe he just moved around camps. Maybe he just wanted to train with people like Darren Till. I don't know. So I thought it'd be fun today to take a look at the UFC rankings and say, like, let's take a look at Khamzat Chimaev, and if he has improved cardio, what do the matchups look like for him? So, of course, the Dricus du Plessis fight, I'm done. I think I'm done picking people against Dricus du Plessis because he just continues winning. Sean Strickland would be an interesting one, assuming he could take down Sean Strickland. Israel Adesanya, I think he would beat. Robert Whittaker is the really, really big, interesting one, right? Because Robert, like, he has that insane dog in him, and that's why it's such a compelling fight. And if Khamzat Chimaev can fix his cardio, then I would love to see these two go at it for 3 to 5 rounds. That would be absolutely insane. To be honest with you, I don't know if he can beat Imavov. I think Imavov is a very, very underrated contender. Kyle Braujo, I'm convinced, might be champion one day. Marvin Vettori, he'd probably beat. Could you imagine Marvin Vettori, of all people, is the guy to just completely stuff Khamzat Chimaev's takedowns? Dude, what if Khamzat Chimaev actually cut back down to welterweight after this, like being more disciplined? Oh, that would be real bad problems for the division. Brendan Allen, I keep forgetting Brendan Allen's all the way down at number 8. Jared Cannonier, he'd beat Paul Costa, he'd beat Roman Dolidze, he'd beat, and yeah, we are going back down to Jack Hermanson and then Khamzat Chimaev. So it's interesting to think about, like, how much the approach to these fights would change, assuming that Khamzat Chimaev has a cardio issue, because we already broke down the Robert Whittaker fight before, and essentially what I was saying, and so many other people are saying, is if Robert Whittaker can get out of that first round, if Robert Whittaker can defend the onslaught that Khamzat Chimaev is going to come out with, he has the complete cardio advantage, and he's going to dummy Khamzat Chimaev for 5 rounds. So this makes the fight a lot more compelling, in my opinion. I like watching Khamzat Chimaev, so it's nice to see that he's taking this as seriously as he possibly can, but at the end of the day, it is a little bit worrying because Robert Whittaker is one of my favorite fighters of all time, and I really, really do not want to see this guy lose. Let me know what you think about Khamzat Chimaev, and if you think he's serious, by the way, because I understand if you don't believe him at all after all of the lies of kind of like making it to the fight, you know what I mean? So that's understandable. Like for me personally, I'm not going to believe it until I see it against Robert Whittaker, him having the improved cardio, but this seems very promising and very exciting for the middleweight division, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for being here. Check out this video on screen if you'd like to keep watching the channel. YouTube thinks you like this video the best. Take care, everybody.